Thanks for joining us for this information seminar about our master's program in viticulture and enology at Weincampus Neustadt. My name is Dominik Donner, and it is my great pleasure to introduce the Wine Campus to you a little bit and talk briefly about our institution. And then I hand over to my colleague, who is actually the course director. Her name is Lena Keller, and she will introduce all the little fine and nice details about our master's program. So we have presentations for you this afternoon, and I would like to share my screen with you. And first of all, I want to start with talking a little bit about Master Viticulture Enology in Germany, because I have seen on my screen that according to your names, not everybody is from Germany. So why doing a master's program in viticulture and enology in Germany? I think our viticultural world, which is very close to the French border in the state of Rhineland-Palatinate, is very diverse. We are doing whites and reds and all different techniques of winemaking. So you get the full diversity, and you are in the middle of Europe. So ways to other European countries are pretty close. And as a third and also very important aspect, Germany is a highly innovative country in terms of technology. And of course, as the last argument, there is also a big wine market in Germany, like lots of customers drinking wine. We have 84 million people in this country, so the market is definitely not small. Okay, but now it's about our master's program. And first of all, I want to show you the agenda. After a quick introduction, we give you an overview of the program. We go into the details, and this is done by my colleague Lena Keller. And then we would like to talk about some specific module, which is today ecology and biodiversity in the vineyard. And we have our lecturer here this afternoon. His name is Leonhard Pfahl, and he will give you some insights in about in our ecology courses. Then we talk about the core competences. So in case you are not trained with a bachelor's degree in viticulture and enology, maybe you have a bachelor's degree in biology or chemistry, meaning that we have some specific courses for you, which are called core competences. And this is presented today by our assistant, Luisa Frutt. She will give you some insights in how we hook you up with the basics in viticulture and enology, only relevant for those who haven't the bachelor's degree in viticulture and enology. Then we do a interview with a student, Lisa is here this afternoon in our library, and she will give you some insights from a student perspective. And then, of course, we will go back to the official part. What are the admission requirements, the application materials we need for registration, and talk also a little bit about visa for all of those of you who are not inside the European Union, and it might be necessary to apply for a student visa. And of course, we have a question and answers session for you so that we can do it by one-on-one. And you can also, of course, use the chat. Yeah, my colleague Miriam Löwe has already introduced herself in the chat, and you can use the chat all the time to ask questions, and my colleagues are very happy to answer them. So we are the Wine Campus, and what is the Wine Campus? It is a place for applied studies, so it's all about wine. And our strength is that we combine the theoretical teaching with the practical part, which you have seen in the video at the beginning. So practical winemaking is a very crucial aspect in our institution. And we say wine making can be only learned by making wine, basically, and this is what we are doing. So there's lots of practical courses involved, our perspective is that we want to shape the future with you guys, and it's all about your success. Yeah. You need to be successful, and then we can together tackle the challenges of the wine industry, which are definitely given at the moment. We are very curious about new aspects, new technologies, changes which are going on in the world. So we deal with the changes. So we deal with climate change and work on adaptation strategies. We deal with artificial intelligence and work on ideas how to integrate AI into viticulture, winemaking, and also, of course, wine sales. We do a lot of research, and especially in the master's program, research is a big topic in the program itself. So you are also doing research tasks within your 2-year studies. And of course, talking about this, you can enjoy the benefits of our location because we are in the middle of vineyards. I mean, we are in the center of a huge, second largest wine growing area in Germany. Our state is by far the biggest wine growing place in Germany. And we are also close to the French border, where the Alsace region is basically directly connected to our wine region. And this area is a really good area for conducting studies and for me to work there. Okay, we want you to immerse yourself in the wine industry, and this is possible in our place because we have a good network. We have a lot of partnering companies and also lecturers from the industry, and you can connect these to these people and create a great network for your future. And of course, your future is definitely not only in a local or regional environment, it's more like on a national or probably on an international relevant environment. Okay. I speed up a little bit. Why study wine? Because wine is a huge topic all over the world. I mean, the global wine sector is huge. There are several hundred thousands of people working in the wine industry worldwide. And it is a industry which is highly segmented into little tiny pieces. So there is not that concentration as you see it in the food industry, for example, where you have Nestlé or other big players. Like the wine industry is very diverse, and it offers many nice positions as juniors, as seniors in research, in the viticulture area, in the winemaking area, in the sales area, of course. And also the master's is definitely the step to do a PhD afterwards if you want to. Scientific thinking and applying research findings is ultra important at the moment, yeah, because we have a lot of change processes. So we need open people, and I guess you are all good people, and we can work together on science, yeah, and apply our research findings in the industry. Wine tells stories, which is a very nice topic to work on. Wine is culture. Wine connects people. Wine appeals to our senses. And yeah, eventually you can dive into this professional area at Weincampus with our renowned partner wineries, which is a good step as a first step for you, or maybe for others, a second step after the bachelor's degree to become real professionals in an international world. Our courses we offer start with a bachelor's degree. This is not what we are talking about today. We are talking about the master's degree. And let me just briefly talk about this. Even you have a background in viticulture enology, then this master program allows you to dive deeper into the world of viticulture enology, more in the research area, more in the analytical field, yeah, more dealing with urgent topics like climate change and AI, and also engineering aspects. And if you are coming from a natural science world, agricultural world, engineering world, it is perfect to specialize in viticulture enology. And this is true for everybody who is from every country in the world. So it doesn't matter where you are from, everybody is welcome, and we live a very open, inclusive culture. We also have an MBA program. If this is interesting for you, we have a seminar tonight at 6:30 p.m. about our master's program in business administration, which is more tailored, of course, to sales and business aspects. And we also offer a doctoral thesis, so PhD is also something which you can do at the Wine Campus. We have lots of events going on, like especially in spring and summertime. There is many trade fairs. There are master classes. Yeah, the master classes are more in winter time, where sommeliers are coming, and then we talk about Bordeaux wines. We talk about champagne. We talk about Italian wines, Barolo, etc. And from the student side, there is a lot of campus parties. There was one last week, and there is one next week. So lots of parties going on outside my office, and also the Wine Campus Talk is an interesting platform where the student board invites people from the wineries to talk about their products and discuss about their products. And this is also regularly going on. So very interesting field also in the general context of studying. The history of Wine Campus reaches back actually to 1899. When our school started. However, all the way to 2009, this is how long it took until we started to offer academic programs. And the first academic program we started was a bachelor. Then in 2015, we started the MBA. And this master's program we are talking about today was started in 2020. So it's brand new. And you are still the pioneers of this great internationally oriented program. Our institution is not only diverse by the people studying and working there, but it's also a collaboration, because Wine Campus is not only one university, it's actually three universities and a state research center for viticulture and horticulture, working together and bringing all the strength together to make it possible for you to have the best education and the best teaching and the best seminars which you can get in the wine world. The campus is a large area in the middle of vineyards, and we have our own winery, a state winery, which is owned by the state. It's on campus, and this state winery is used also as a teaching winery, of course, with small-scale winemaking and large-scale winemaking. We have several institutions, and the Wine Campus itself is comprised of many lecture halls and seminar rooms and all what is needed for studies, like a library and rooms where you can study and do your caseworks. The teaching team is as diverse as the students are. So we have a lot of teachers, a lot of lecturers in viticulture enology. So here you see Leonard Pfahl, for example. He will give you some insights in a little bit. Lena Keller, who is more on the analytical side of life. She will also talk to you in a little bit, and lots of nice smiling colleagues here on that team. We have teaching stuff also in phytomedicine, which is a very important aspect. So the health of our grapes is a concerning aspect for the wine quality. And of course, as climate changes, new insects and new pests come to our regions, and we have to also talk about this in modules. Wine sensory, very important field. And of course, last but not least, the business administration and marketing in the wine industry. Then we have an administration team, like the campus admin and the management, student affairs office, library, and the program management is basically the person relevant for you is Miriam Löwe. She is responsible for coordinating the registration, the student registration, and all the administration aspects of the students. Okay, I already talked a little bit about research, and now I want to do some name dropping or drop some terms here on that slide. So sustainability, climate change. biotechnology, like especially in the field of breeding new grape varieties, resistant grape varieties, but also in the aspect of yeast and bacteria, which are needed for wine production, is a huge field of research at Weincampus. AI, I talked a lot about this, is of course used in teaching, and you use it in your case studies. And we want to make sure that artificial intelligence is in the future also used for creating value in the wine world. This is a highly relevant topic, what we will talk about a lot. Circular economies, customer research, non-alcoholic wines. We have our own vacuum distillation on campus where we produce our non-alcoholic wines in a 70-liter batch process, and technology development and grape protection, like phytomedicine is, I talked about this. Okay, now you have a little insight in what Weincampus is, and now we would love to hear a little bit about you. We'd like to learn about your background, and I would like to ask you to complete this questionnaire real quick. Yeah, and then we continue with our seminar. Please complete this questionnaire. Okay, thank you very much for completing this questionnaire. This is important for us to know who we are talking to. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Lena Keller, who will give you a comprehensive overview of the master program in viticulture and enology.
So, hi, welcome also from my side here from the Weincampus itself. We are in our wonderful library here, and today I want to show you a little bit more about the details of our master's program, give you a nice introduction into the course content, and also we will talk to some of the people involved in this program from the lecturer side, from the assistant side, or from the studying side itself. So we will start with a short presentation on the background information and on the content. So we will talk about our Master of Science in Viticulture and Enology, as you can see on the slide, and I will start with some of the key facts. Right, so we do have a Master of Science program, which is a name, and it's also a program, so it's a lot about wine science that we are interested in. The program type is a dual program, dual meaning we have a lot of practice integrated content, so you will learn not only about theory here, not only academic research, but also look into the practical aspect of the things. It's a full-time program, so during the time being, you will spend a lot of time studying with us, and I think it's also worth it. It's non-campus program, so meaning over the lecture time, your attendance is really required in the classroom. That doesn't mean that we do not provide online content for you to learn, to repeat it, but the program thrives on your attendance, on your involvement. So that's very important for us. Teaching language is English, and it takes 2 years to go through the program. In Germany, in our system, we talk in semesters. That's not the case everywhere. So a semester being half a year, basically. So we have 2 years, meaning we have 4 semesters to study here. It's a program, very traditional, 120 ECTS points. Yeah, it's very typical for a master's degree program for 2 years. so meaning 60 ECTS points per year, and 1 ECTS point corresponds to 25 hours of work, just so that you know how this is calculated, basically. We only start in the winter, so in the winter semester, we will start every September. So if you decide to join in the program, your attendance is required starting in the middle of September. We will come to that in a little bit more detail. There is no tuition fee here for the program. There's only something that we call a social contribution of approximately 300 euros a year, but this is also at the same time the bus ticket and so on. So there is basically no fee. You have heard that from my colleague Professor Durna already a little bit. We do have 2 study options which are basically tailored to your individual background. So we have the goal to really adjust our program to your needs. So if you do have a background in basically any other science, natural sciences, agricultural sciences, engineering, and so on, that is not too deep into enology and viticulture, we have a program just for you for where you get a perfect entry into the viticulture and enology world, really with hands-on training. We do have a campus winery. We do have an experimental winery, so a little bit a smaller one, but we do also have a state winery here on site, so you will get a perfect entry into the into viticulture and enology. It's a perfect program if you want to apply your prior knowledge in whatever science it may be to wine science and to really specialize in wine science. If you're holding or if you're already having a bachelor in viticulture and enology, or you do have previous experience in viticulture and enology, you have the option to choose a job integrated program called a job integrated double degree, which combines basically your academic studies with your career, with on-the-job training. And this is a very special program. It's a double degree with our French partner university, University Haute-Alsace in Colmar, so which is just about 1.5 hours from here. And this means after 2 years, you do not only get 1 master's degree, but you get 2 master's degrees, one from Germany, one from our French partner institution. Now we want to look a little bit more into the curriculum. Here you can see we do have on the right-hand side, the job integrated double degree. So please be aware whenever you will see this job integrated double degree sign that this is corresponding to this option, but I will also talk about this again. So let's first look into our first year curriculum. The way our modules and courses are organized is that we have a module, and this is what you can see here. You can see here all the modules of the first and the second semester. And then in every module, you might have 1 or 2 or even 3 courses that together form this module that form one topic together, just so that you know how this is organized. I will not go into each individual module, then we would be sitting here until midnight. I don't want that. So if you're really interested into the specific content of a module, you can go to our website. We do have our module handbook online, and you can read into every single module. So we will just look into 1 or 2 of these modules and just have a closer look. Let's first go into the first semester. So I will go to the next slide, and there you will see the modules again, but this time with the corresponding courses. And what is color-coded here a little bit, let me go back 1 slide because I forgot to mention that. What is color-coded here a little bit is the more Enology side of things, which is blue, is the viticultural side of things, which is the green, and then the general science, which is kind of gray here in the area. And what you can see is that in the first semester, which is the winter semester, there are the big Enology modules. And then in the summer semester, there are the big viticultural modules. And this just corresponds to our seasons. We do have the vines growing in the summer, and this because you do have a lot of practical aspects, our big viticultural modules are in the summer semester. So in our first semester, as I told you, we have the big Enology modules, and I will tell you a little bit more about our first Enology module, the future technologies in Enology. So this is really about technical innovations in Enology, also about different wine styles, about innovations in stylistics in wine, and a lot of about automation technology, about process engineering. And then it's also completed with ideas of quality management, because that's what we want to achieve in the end. One other big Enology module is the customer-centric product development, where here we really look into aligning the wine production side with what the market needs and what the consumer expects. So really start from this consumer expectance and look into developing the right product, looking into a lot of sensory analysis, because that plays a big role in wine science, and how these products are developed, always with an emphasis on sustainability and also the sensory analysis. And then when we look in our second semester, I already told you that there is a lot more about the viticultural side of things in our second semester. And to make sure that it's not only me talking here about the modules, I invited one of our lecturers to join us here and to learn a little bit more about the module. So I welcome Leonard Pfahl. He's a lecturer in the program. He's the module coordinator, and also he's an expert in viticulture and here in teaching and consulting at institution. So welcome, Leonard. Hi.
Thank you very much, Lena. So, hi everybody. I'm here to present to you the Ecological Sustainability and Vineyard Management module, which I'm in charge of. And that actually is a great example of how the style of studying here actually differs in quite some ways from other universities. We have quite some courses where you will not only sit down and listen to a lot of lectures. At the very end of the semester, you learn that, and then you have a written exam. But instead of that, you will be much more active. So, for example, in this module, you will be a consultant, step in that role. And that is not just kind of a role play or fake. You will have an actual winery here from this region, and you will consult that. So obviously the topic is sustainability and vineyard management, and you will on one side achieve a lot of knowledge in that direction to actually do this consultation. But on the other hand, you will learn in a much wider way about this, because there is so many ways where things in viticulture link into each other. So you have biodiversity, you have an ecosystem which is complex, and that in the end inflects quality, your goal of production, and all of these things come together in this kind of use case which you can apply to. So as I already said at the very end as well, your examination is very much different. You won't have just a written exam where you have to learn stuff and then you write it down, but you will actually do this consultation to the winery, and that will be your exam at the very end of it.
Thank you very much. I think that gives us a very good impression of how we are teaching and what you can learn here and come to us at the Weincampus. Thank you very much about this very nice overview. So this was, I think, very informative. And I think this is a very good example of how interdisciplinary this whole program is. You will see a lot of different aspects from this research side, from the consulting side. You will get background in chemistry, in biotechnology, and this all comes together in wine research. So I think that makes it very, very special and interesting. So here, we've learned a lot about this one viticultural module. There's also another viticultural module that is looking more into how the plant and how all the wine growing adapts to climate change. This is a very big challenge also for viticulture at the moment. So when, like I said already, you have a background in viticulture and enology, you also have the option to do this job integrated double degree. And here the content is very similar, or is in large cases overlapping with the other program, but instead of these core competence modules that we will come to a little bit later, you will have job integrated modules. So you will work on a project closely with a company. So you can work at the same time, you can work closely with your company, and you work on a self-chosen project, applying directly this theoretical knowledge here to practical challenges. So that's a big part then of your studies. As you can see, there are a lot of modules that overlap with the other study option. Okay, when we look into our second year, so the first year is a lot about teaching, is a lot about getting this practical experience. And then in the second year, it's really up to you what you want to do. And I can show you here what is obvious. It's not blue or it's not green, but it's all basically very general from the content, because that means you can choose to do whatever you are interested in. You can really start to shape your own way here and to really specialize in what you are interested. Our third semester is a research semester. So you can go, we think you should go abroad to another research institution, but you can do that here in Germany as well. We do have a lot of super interesting research institutions here as well. And you can do a research semester on an elective topic. They are ranging from plant breeding to mitigation strategies to health-related topics, analytical methodologies, we have consumer research. So it's a very broad range that you can choose from and dive into actual wine research to do or to experience by yourself. And this will prepare you for your last task, basically, of your studies, the huge goal, the master thesis in the fourth semester. You can see this, this master thesis consists of a thesis proposal, just as a short, basically, preparation, theoretical preparation of your master thesis, then doing all the practical work, writing up a thesis, and in the end, very traditional thesis defense, where you defend your work again. So this would be the third and the fourth semester. It looks a little bit different if you want to do this double degree program, because here, the third and the fourth semester, there is still some project work that is happening in France, as you can clearly see here. So there, the third and the fourth semester, you will have 3 big projects that you would do in Colmar at the University of Haute-Alsace, which is a chem wine project, which is a Witty Smart project, and also a green wine project. So also looking into different aspects, chemical sensory analysis, then going into more digitalization and also into viticulture. So here you will look into these different projects at the University of Haute-Alsace in Colmar. And then you will also write your master thesis. We have here taken out this master thesis proposal already in the third semester, because you do have some project work in the fourth semester. So this is just a little bit stretched out the whole master's topic. But otherwise, it's still a traditional master thesis in the end. What I think what really sets us apart is that we have a very strong integration of science, of technology, and of practical winemaking. So this is what this dual program really thrives on. You do have this practical experience and directly always closely connected with actual wine research, with science, with technology. You will have a lot of hands-on training, not only in the winery, but also in our laboratories. So we do have laboratories in wine science going into the microbiology or into the wine chemistry, into big analytics, into more the viticulture. So here you will also get hands-on training so that you can proceed afterwards with this experience. We have a close connection to our current research, so what we are doing here, what we are researching here at the Wine Campus, and also industry challenges that we are working on. And I think a big advantage, you have already heard a little bit, is that we are working with small groups and with a very direct interaction with lecturers. So it's not just a frontal lecture and you're listening and then you're going home and you might have heard something interesting, but you are really interacting with your whole class. You are learning from each other and you're just growing in this way. We are focusing on real world problems, not just the theory. So it's a challenge-based learning where we can look how to really improve the wine science. And it's an international perspective, due basically to the English taught courses, but also because we have this very international group of students that you can learn from each other. You have also already heard a little bit about our teaching and learning formats. So just as some examples, so we do research-based learning, we do some portfolio assessments, very non-traditional, where you look more into your learning process rather than just having an exam in the end. We do work as industry-based projects, look into some case studies directly with companies, with industries. You have a journal club looking into actual wine research, into research projects that are happening together with some PhD students also that are working directly on the projects. Some self-directed learning formats and more looking into transfer rather than just basic knowledge. So in the end, our goal is to have a competence-oriented learning. I guess you're interested into the schedule, and here you can see an overview of our first 2 years. And what you can nicely see here is that we do have the core competency modules that are in this yellow orangey color starting in September and starting in March, where you get an introduction to viticulture and enology. And here I invited our scientific assistant, Luisa Froth. Would you please join me here in front? Because she is the one mainly responsible for these core competency modules. And I think it's going to be really interesting to hear from her what you will learn and what you will do in these modules.
Yes, thank you, Lena. Hi, everyone. I want to introduce you to our core competences modules. We not just offer for those who did not have or do not have a bachelor degree in viticulture and enology, but also for people who maybe struggle with their English and want to practice their English and learn the specific terms of viticulture and enology in English. So these modules offer a base knowledge in viticulture and enology and give you the most important information about the grapevine, pests, diseases, plant protection, also the most important viticultural works, and the process chain of winemaking in a very practice-oriented way. So it's a combination of lectures and practical exercises. So as the lectures or the course starts in September, what is the mid of grape harvest here in Neustadt, we directly start with harvesting. So lectures start in the vineyard. We assess the grape maturity to determine the perfect harvest date. And a few days later, we handpick grapes for your very first wine. The grapes will be processed in our university cellar. So we have a very small experimental cellar here at the campus, and there the grapes will be processed by yourself in our introduction. And then you will ferment your own must to your own wine. So you will learn a lot about alcoholic fermentation and how it is monitored and also controlled. So there will also be some laboratory sessions. And in the end, you hold your very first wine in your hands. And for me, it's always really special to see how proud the students are. And for a summer semester, it starts at the same time when growing season begins. So it's the perfect timing to have a look on grapevines development and also the viticultural works done in the vineyard and why they're so important. So this module runs now here at Weincampus. So our students learned a lot about the viticultural practices in the last weeks. So a few weeks ago, before bud break, we were outside and practiced pruning and tied the vines and talked a lot about different wine training systems, their advantages and disadvantages. And just this morning, because the vines sprouted, so we have small green shoots now in the vineyard. We were outside and had a look on the developmental stages, talked a lot about pests and plant protection, and practiced shoot thinning. So it's a manual work that takes place now. It's for quality management. So the students learn a lot about the canopy management measures and how they influence, in the end, yield formation and also the grape quality, because they influence, for example, lighting or aeration, so the airflow in the canopy. So as you see, these modules give basic knowledge, basic information about viticulture and enology, that you're able to understand the lectures coming later in the semester, so that you're able to tackle all these specific and innovative topics afterwards. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I think that gives us a good impression of how you are really introduced into this viticulture and enology topic. And even if your background is from a different angle, you might have a background in chemistry and biology and engineering, but then you really start learning this introductory courses, and then you can really specialize in viticulture and enology. I think that's, thank you very much. That was very interesting. And then here you can see on the schedule again, we just take another look at the schedule where you can see then you have a little break. This is where normally the exams are happening. And then we'll start in this orange phase in November, which is the main modules that then are together with the other study option, where we have the big modules for the winter semester and the same in the summer semester. You can see that you have the research semester in the third semester, which is basically in total 16 weeks, where you can work on a research project here in Germany or abroad. And then you have your master's thesis in the fourth semester. let's shortly switch to the job integrated double degree. This doesn't look too different. Here, what we do not have is the core competence modules, because when you do have a background in viticulture and enology, you do not really have to take these classes. So they are basically replaced by these job integrated modules that you are working on during your practical phases. And then you can see in these orange phases in year 1, you have your lectures here in Neustadt with us, the modules that I just introduced. And in the year 2, the lectures will take place, or the project work will take place in Colmar in France with our partner University Haute-Alsace. You have already heard, so when you have a background in viticulture and enology, you have the choice basically between doing this job integrated course or the option with the core competency modules. Here you just have to really think about what you want to do. Maybe these core competency modules give you a good start for your studies when you're not really solid in your English. So this might give you an easy way into your studies, but you have the choice to do the job integrated double degree, which is also a very, very special, interesting program together with France. I want to show you some alumni, what they are doing now or after they finish their studies. A lot of them stay in wine research. So we do have 2 PhD candidates that are working on their thesis or on their PhD projects at the moment. One is here, Julian Döckler, he is working here at the Weincampus at the moment. Another candidate, Jeanne Laforge from France, she is in Stellenbosch at the moment in South Africa, working at the university, doing her PhD there. We have also, you can see Vincent Knicher. He is here working now as he entered the graduate program for higher civil service, which is something very German, basically, in the Ministry of Food, Agriculture, Forestry, and Tourism. So this is something where you really need to, where you really need your master's degree. I don't only want to show you some alumni, we also want to talk to a current student now. And so I would like to ask Lisa Muiku to us. So she's a current student from Finland, and she's in her 2nd semester now, right? So she started last September in her course with us, and wanted talk to her, and we do have some questions afterwards. So in case you're interested asking her some questions about the program, you can already start thinking about it. We will come to that a little bit later. But maybe I start asking questions first. So welcome, Lisa. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks for inviting.
Maybe you tell us a little bit something about yourself and why you personally chose the program.
Yeah, so I'm Lisa, I'm from Finland, like mentioned before, and my journey to wine has been kind of long and multi-dimensional. So I got into wine when I was working in Finland in the wine monopoly, so Alko, and from there I went to New Zealand to work in the vineyards. Over there, I decided that I want to study wine, no matter what. And through multiple steps, I went to study wine business in Geisenheim, which is also another well-known university. And I studied international wine business. I really liked the program there, but I always kind of wanted to get to the production side even more. So I found actually a Neustadt program from ProWein. It was recommended there, and it was like a dream come true for me, because I was looking for a program where I don't have to put all my savings into it, and I could get into the production side. And yeah, here I am, and I love it.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. Thank you very much. Before we come to why you love it and what do you love most, maybe you do have a little bit or some background in viticulture and enology, so you could have chosen plan A or plan B. It was both, both good options for you. Can you maybe tell us why you decided to choose plan B instead of plan A?
That's a really good question, and I really thought about it until the last minute, to be honest. Between my graduation from Geisenheim and here, I took a little side quest to the spirits side, and I worked there as a marketing manager. In the end, I ended up choosing the program B because for me, I found that on-campus studies are the best choice for myself. I can really concentrate on the task on hand, and also my personal life situation. Like I have a boyfriend in Germany, so I didn't want to be in France for a year and make him move with me as well. So personally, for me, it was a good choice, and I also like my classmates that much that I want to spend a lot of time with them.
Okay, so maybe this wasn't very clear before. I just threw in this plan A, plan B thing. Sorry for that. Plan A is what we call this job integrated double degree. Plan B is the other option with the core competence modules to give you a good start into viticulture and enology. So if you do have, like we said, this background in viticulture and enology, you have the choice between basically these two study options. Okay, so now we come to that because it's more important. Why do you love the program so much? What do you like so far?
Well, I really, from the first weeks, I really started to like the straight ahead, going in depth to the deep end, and being so practical about everything. I really loved from the start the very close contact and personal contact with the staff members and with the other students. Maybe the most I like is our group. We are such a diverse group from different backgrounds, from different origins, and there's people from biology, from chemical engineering. Really, I feel like I'm able to learn a lot from my classmates. We had 2 excursions last semester. We went to Mosul and Luxembourg, and also we had a nice excursion here in Pfalz, and I think we have more to come this semester as well. Those were the best moments, I think. And yeah, I think there's many cool other things that have been happening. Of course, making our own wine was very nice.
It's a nice start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I also would think that doing some excursions and so brings the group also closer together, right? That's what we try to do that pretty much in the beginning, that you can come together as a group and find this way of studying and living basically together. Do you already have plans for after the program? Do you know where you will go? What are your goals?
Oh, I wish somebody could tell me that, because in the whole journey what I've had with wine, I haven't really had like a master plan what I'm gonna do next. But luckily, I've been guided somehow nicely towards my goals. But at the moment, I'm very much involved with Finnish viticulture, which is very small scene, but maybe with the climate change and upcoming wine country. So I would like to go more towards the research about Nordic wine and viticulture, especially. And in general, I feel like I've found my further passion within the whole research, also sustainability. And I think maybe I want to go for teaching or something like that. So
that sounds very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I really want to thank her that she was joining us here today. And we will also she will also come back for the questions. So like I said, if you have questions for her, please feel free.
Thank you.
You very much, Lisa. See you in a bit. Before we come to the questions, we have to go through some more requirements, admission requirements, because if you want to enter our studies, I think that's most interesting for you. What do you need to be able to start your studies with us? So what you need at first, you need a bachelor's degree with at least 180 ECTS points in natural sciences, agriculture, engineering, or wine business, that are our prerequisites that comprises a lot of different subjects. And here, they have to be sorted out individually. So if you do have questions because you have studied a certain topic, there is something we have to look a little bit more into in depth into your certificates. So if you have questions concerning your specific background, we might have to answer these questions afterwards. But basically, you need a bachelor's degree with 180 ECTS points. You need your proof of English language, at least according to B2 level. You need to apply by August 15th. And you need to do that online via the application portal. So that doesn't sound too complicated to me. If you are interested in the job integrated double degree, so in cooperation with our French partners, you need a bachelor degree in viticulture and enology, or you need a bachelor's degree in the subjects that I just showed you, with at least 2 years of experience, practical experience in viticulture and enology. So because here you do not have these core competency modules, so we require that you do have some previous knowledge in the subject. And also because it's job integrated, you need to have a little bit of you need to have a company in the background, and you need a practice contract, at least for the first practical phase. It's better to have a practice contract directly for the full time of the studies. I just told you that we do have an application deadline in August 15th. But if you are from a non-EU country, that might be a little bit different, because there it just takes time to get your visa stuff sorted. So if you are a non-EU student, then we ask you to apply by latest July 15th. Please start early, because it just takes time. You have to contact your nearest German consulate to find out first if you need a visa. So not all non-EU students need a visa. Please figure that out early. And then for the visa process, you have to prepare your documents, like you get an admission letter from us after you applied, your application was checked, and so on. And you need that admission letter generally. And then normally you need a proof of financial support. But there are normally very specific prerequisites from the consulate. So please figure that out there. My biggest point here, act fast, really apply, book your visa appointment, do that as early as possible, start that now, because otherwise you cannot make sure that you arrive here in the middle of September. And if you arrive later, that means the start of your studies is getting way more complicated, and we don't want that. We want you to learn with us right from the beginning. And if you apply after the deadline, we really cannot guarantee that you will arrive on time to successfully begin your studies. We have some link for you if you want to find more information on study in Germany, and also from the website of the international office. We also collected some hopefully useful links for you from the Weincampus itself. There's from the master's degree, from the university, from the Ludwigshafen University, about our application website, then the international office, and then more information about studying in Germany. And if you do have more questions, I would just like to contact either me or the program manager, Miriam Löwe. She is in the chat already. So if you are having any questions, she can reply directly via the chat. But before we are finished, I would like to ask the people who joined me here before. So our lecturer, our scientific assistant, Luisa Food, and our current student, Isa Muiku, to join me here in the front. We will just get rid of the chairs. And yeah, so now we are here if you have questions, and feel free to ask us. So I will take a look into the chat here. So if you have questions, just type them, or I don't know, unlock your microphone. You can do that too. Okay, I get a first question. Hello, after applying in the beginning of the application period, how long we have to wait to get an update about our application? After July 15th or before? I'm a non-EU student. So you will get an update before July 15th. So in case you need an early admission letter or something like that, you can contact our program manager, Miriam Löwe, but you should also be getting a reply or a reaction to your signing in earlier than July 15th, definitely. See another one here. Good afternoon. Could you please elaborate on the practice contract? What does it entail? So practice contract just means that there is a company who is willing to have you in the company and is able to provide the time and all the stuff that you need for your time being here. So this is not a very specific contract. This is just very informal thing that you are able to spend your practice phase in the company. One more question. Okay, I can have so many more questions. What are the options of foreign countries for the third semester? There are many options, so you can go basically wherever you like. There are some options to go to Germany, to go into the EU. There you can even get Erasmus grants if it's working. Let's see how this is paying out. But then you can go wherever you like. So you could also spend your time in California or in New Zealand. So there are no limitations for that. You have mentioned a deadline, but I would like to know when the application starts. Yeah, I would also like to know that. We do not. This is the information we do have in the middle of May, and when it opens around that time. We do not have an exact date. We cannot exactly tell you because this depends on the portal when they are ready, when they have deleted all the old data and so on. So there is no specific date. Middle of May is the information that we do have. More. How recent the English certificate has to be. I'm not really sure about that one. Okay, my background is getting me information. So there is no limitation for the date of the English certificate. Is it open for applicants with a bachelor's program in agricultural economics from a Nigerian institution? This is something I cannot give you a straight answer here. I would say there is a good chance, but we have to really look into that in detail, what the program entails. We're not really sure, then we have to look into the curriculum and so on. So I cannot give you a definite answer here right now. A friend of mine is a textile engineer. Is he also eligible for the program? Engineers may apply. Yeah, this is again something we have to check that in detail. I cannot give you a definite answer here because we really have to look into the programs, into what this means. Okay. There's another question that I have overlooked. How many students are currently in their second semester and how are they distributed between A and B? Maybe I can forward this question, Lisa, to you because otherwise it's only me talking. That would be great. Do you know?
Yeah, approximately.
Approximately, that's good enough.
I think we are 12 or 13 people, and most of us are in the B, in the, I don't know what's the name now exactly, but, and 3 of us are in the A group then. So, yeah.
3 are into the job integrated double degree program right now, and the rest of the group is in the other program. Okay, I'm a pharmacy graduate and have a job experience of 3.5 years. So am I eligible? I'm a pharmacy graduate, so that's good. So very good graduates. I would suggest yes, we have to look into that in more detail. I cannot really give you a definite reply here. How many students are accepted into this program? We don't have a limitation on that side. So we hope that as many of you as are interested can join the program. Do you have more questions for our lecturers, for our assistant, for our students? For all these very detailed questions about if you're eligible to get into the program, please, you have to contact data from Miriam Löwe. I think she also put her contact data in the chat again. So write her an email, send her certificates or whatever, and we will check that as soon as possible and get back to you with a definite reply. So, do you already have a start date when the program in September starts? Do we already have?
Normally it starts in the last week of September, I guess. So mid-September, last week of September. So in the last years it was around 23rd of September, and I guess it will be more or less the same this year. Maybe it will be 1 or 2 weeks earlier, but it's definitely in the mid of September.
Okay, what kind of research projects are generally done? Do you already know what you are going to do, Lisa?
I've applied.
Sorry.
Meaning the 3rd semester now, right?
Yes, I think that's...
Yeah, I've applied to some, but I haven't found a place yet. But I'm looking into, I'm applying to go to Denmark to do something with the Nordic viticulture. And I've also applied to a couple of institutes in Finland, but at the moment they have a bit of lack of funding to take interns, especially from abroad. So, yeah. But I know already a bit more about my master's thesis, so
okay,
yeah.
Maybe elaborate on that would be interesting.
So I've started the process to get into that. So basically, I've chosen a topic. I have my supervisors as well, and yeah, my goal is to validate an existing climate model for Finnish viticulture, basically. So we are doing at the moment observations in Finland regarding BBCH stages of viticulture development, and then we connect it to the climate data and hopefully either validate or not validate the model of another scientist from Luxembourg. So,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Thank you very much.
If you want to, I can introduce mine.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
last year I had one student who did his lab rotation with me, and what we did is we compared drone data and satellite data with actual vine data. So we measured the vine during the summer, during many weeks, and compared that to the indices which are shown by, on one hand, our drone, which has many indices, a lot of resolution, and then on the other hand, the satellite data, which is more rough, but therefore quicker and easier to assess.
Okay, that sounds sounds very interesting. So there are very different disciplinaries that you can look into. So we could speak of that for some more hours, but I think that already gave you a good impression. Can a third year microbiology undergraduate apply? So I don't exactly know what that means. What I can tell you is that you can apply before you have your certificate. So before you have your bachelor's certificate, you can, you can hand that in later in the process. So that's, if this was the question. Otherwise, microbiology, we do have microbiology bachelor graduates in the program. So that's what I can say. Regarding the accommodation, is the accommodation provided on your webpage always available? So we always try to have an up-to-date list of accommodation, but it's not our apartments or anything, so we cannot, or we do not really know what's going on with that. So there is some short-term accommodation available, but basically you would have to look into that yourself. How was your experience with accommodation?
I can recommend to start early, to look for a place early. I don't live with the I don't know, what is it called, the university apartments, but a couple of my classmates do. Also, tip there is to be early. And for us, it wasn't so easy to find a place, but it really benefited that I had a German living with me. But in the end, we got very lucky and got the dream apartment right at the center. So, but starting early is the main thing.
Okay, perfect. So we really try to help you there where possible, but in the end, you would have to look by yourself. We don't have apartments that we own and that you can rent and that are definitely free. I did not get the French campus part due to the network disturbances. Can you let me please know if mandatory to spend that semester there? So if you are in the job integrated double degree program, that means you do have to spend some lecture time in France. That also means you do have to enroll in both universities. So yes, there it is mandatory, but if you are in the other program option, then it's not mandatory. So you can have a master's degree without spending time in France. Okay, I don't see any more questions. If there are no more, there is another question. Is there a list of companies that you suggest doing the practice work in, or that you know that they take foreign students? So yes, we do have a lot of suggestions where you can go and where you can do your research work for practice work. So all these practical aspects are here at our university winery. So there you do not have to go into a winery in the region. So that's what we spend here. Okay, in plan, yeah, if you are doing the job integrated part, you will have to find a company. There we do have some suggestions. We do have some companies where we know they take master students, but also there you have to really go and get into and see what you're also interested in. Is it white wine? Is it red wine? Is it sparkling wine? We really need to know what you're interested in, and then we can make some suggestions. Oh? Okay. Okay, one more question. How do logistics work when going to Colmar? Do we need to find accommodation there? Yes, you have to find accommodation there. Also, our French partners are helping you with this. And there is some short-term accommodation around in Colmar. You would normally, depending on where you're working, so where your company is located, either end your accommodation here. So if your company is at a different place, if you're still working in the area, you would have to find a short term in Colmar, because these are also very limited times that you spend there. I think the longest is 4 weeks or 6 weeks in total. So it's more short term. Okay. Good. I think we are done with the questions. If you do have more questions, we will spend some more time in the chat and we will reply to your questions. And other than that, I do hope that you now have all the information to contact us. I want to thank you guys again for coming, for introducing, representing the program. And for you, I can only say, please apply, please contact us, let us know if you have more questions. And then I hope we will see you here at the Weincampus. Thank you for spending time.